Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with the Screeniverse. I'm so excited about this one
Me too.
because we are talking all things 2024
Yeah. The best of.
in film.
Yeah.
So we found this really awesome list. It's the best films of 2024, and it is so interesting
Really is.
to kind of look back and think about, all the films that we've watched and all the experiences that we've had this year.
It's amazing how many great films came out this year.
I know there's so many on this list that I haven't even seen yet. I'm like,
Oh, me too.
I got to get on that. I got to watch those.
For sure.
So I thought we could just jump right in.
Yeah, let's go for it.
And start with Wicked,
Okay.
which has been such a huge hit this year.
Oh my gosh, the hype was huge, and I think it actually lived up to it.
Yeah.
It did.
I'm so impressed.
I mean, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande as Elphaba and Glinda,
It's perfect casting.
really, how could you get any better than that?
And they were both just so good.
Yeah.
I was blown away by their performances.
Especially Erivo. I mean, she just brings such a power and a vulnerability to Elphaba.
Mhm.
It's just incredible to watch. And Grande as Glinda is just so playful and charming.
Yeah.
And she just brings a whole new dimension to the character. And the thing that stood out to me was John M. Chu's direction.
Mm-hmm.
The way he brought Oz to life was just incredible. It felt so familiar, but also so fresh and new, like stepping into those childhood illustrations,
Yeah.
but with a modern, vibrant twist. Did you get that sense too?
Absolutely. Like the colors were so vibrant. The costumes were incredible. The set design was so imaginative and immersive.
Yeah.
But beyond just the spectacle, I thought Wicked also really delved into some pretty timely political themes.
Yes, it does.
Like it makes you think about power and prejudice and how history gets written.
It does. And it does it in a way that feels really organic to the story.
Right.
It's not preachy or forced at all. It's
Yeah.
entertainment with substance, and that's always a great combination.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to a completely different film.
Okay.
Sing Sing. This film was just so powerful and moving.
It really was. It was just so impactful.
Yeah. And it offers this really interesting look at how even within the confines of prison, art can provide solace and purpose.
Yeah, and what's even more amazing is that the film features actual Sing Sing alumni like Clarence M.
Yeah.
And their presence just adds this layer of authenticity and rawness to the film. That's just incredible.
Yeah, and it makes you think about second chances and finding hope in unexpected places.
It's a testament to the human spirit, for sure. You know, anyone who has ever found solace in the arts can relate to this film.
Mhm.
It's just so universal in that sense.
Okay, now let's switch gears again to horror.
Ooh, okay.
Robert Eggers' Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
I love Eggers. I think he's such a talented director.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He really knows how to craft these atmospheric and psychologically intense films.
He really does. He's a master of mood and dread, and Nosferatu is no exception.
No, it's not.
The casting in this film is just perfect. Lily Rose Depp and Bill Skarsgård,
Yeah.
they both have this incredible ability to inhabit these dark and unsettling characters, and they bring a haunting presence to the film.
Yeah, and I think this choice to remake a classic with a modern director like Eggers just speaks to the fact that this whole list is full of films that are taking familiar stories and giving them these fresh, thought-provoking spins.
Right.
And Nosferatu is a perfect example of that. Speaking of thought-provoking, let's talk about Conclave.
Oh, yeah.
This film takes us right into the heart of the Vatican during a papal election.
It's intense.
Yeah. It's all about secrets and power plays.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got to talk about Ralph Fiennes. He's amazing in this.
Oh, he is. He's brilliant.
It's funny because this is based on a novel.
It is, yeah. I wonder how well the movie translates the complexities of the book to the screen.
I think it does a pretty remarkable job.
Yeah.
It really captures the tension and the intrigue of the novel.
It does.
And at the same time, it creates this really grand and intimate visual experience.
Yeah. You can really feel the weight of history and the power dynamics at play,
Yeah.
the struggles of these cardinals.
Yeah.
It's definitely a film that stays with you long after you've seen it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes you think about faith and leadership and the choices we make under pressure.
For sure.
So, moving on from historical drama, let's talk about The Brutalist,
Okay.
which tackles the American dream.
Yeah.
It's a film of epic scope
Yeah.
that follows Adrian Brody's character.
Yeah.
He plays Laszlo, who is a Hungarian Jewish immigrant
Right.
and an architect
Right.
who's on this journey to achieve his vision.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Brody in this role?
Oh, Brode is phenomenal. He always brings such depth to his characters.
Yeah.
And in this film, he just embodies Laszlo's resilience and his passion and all the struggles he's facing.
Yeah, it's not just like a rags to riches story. It's really about the human cost of ambition and the tension between personal and professional fulfillment.
For sure. It really challenges that romanticized notion of the American dream.
Yeah.
It shows the hard work and the sacrifices that go into it.
Yeah. All right, now, for a film that brings the drama both on and off the court, challengers. I mean,
Yes.
tennis just becomes this metaphor for the complexities of human relationships in this film.
Absolutely. It's all about ambition and rivalry and the blurred lines between love and competition.
Yeah. And you can't talk about challengers without talking about Zendaya.
Oh, she's amazing. She's fantastic in everything.
Right.
She's just such a talented actress.
Yeah, she brings this fierce intensity to her character,
Yeah.
but also this vulnerability that makes you really root for her.
Absolutely.
Even when she's making choices that you're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And I love how the film explores the psychological battles
Yes.
that athletes face. You know,
It's not just about the physical game.
yeah. What did you think about that central theme of really facing your toughest opponent, yourself?
Well, I thought it was really interesting how the film showed that sometimes. The biggest victories come from conquering those inner demons. You know, not just beating an opponent. It's about self-awareness, growth, and finding that strength to confront our weaknesses.
Okay. Next up, The Wild Robot. This was a visually stunning film.
It really was. The animation is just breathtaking.
Yeah. It's an animated film, but it really centers on a robot navigating the wilderness.
Yeah.
And forming these unexpected bonds.
And it explores some really thought-provoking themes, too, like AI and survival and the importance of connection. It's a really heartwarming and thought-provoking film.
Okay. Let's talk about a film that tackles Hollywood's obsession with youth and beauty. The Substance.
Ooh, yes. This was a powerful one.
It was. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley are both phenomenal.
Oh, they're incredible. They bring so much nuance and vulnerability to their roles. It's really a film that stays with you.
Yeah, it's really impactful. I mean, did any scenes in particular
Oh, yeah.
stand out to you?
There's this one scene where Moore's character is confronted with a younger version of herself. And it's just heartbreaking. It really speaks to the pressures women face in Hollywood
Yeah,
to stay young and relevant.
Okay. Now, for a film that completely breaks the mold of the typical rom-com, Anora.
Anora is just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It's this quirky and unconventional love story that celebrates finding connection amidst all of life's chaos.
Yeah, and Mikey Madison is just fantastic.
Oh, she is. She's just so charming and relatable.
Yeah, it's not your typical predictable rom-com.
No, it's not.
It feels real. It feels hopeful.
Yeah.
I think it's really special.
I agree. And finally, we have to talk about the film that had everyone on the edge of their seats this year. Dune, Part 2.
Oh my gosh, yes. Denis Villeneuve just continues to impress.
He's such a visionary filmmaker.
Yeah. I was blown away by this film. The visuals were incredible.
Yeah.
The action sequences were thrilling.
Yeah.
The performances were phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Timothée Chalamet just continues to amaze me.
Oh, he's so talented.
I think the scope of this film is just breathtaking.
It is.
You know, you feel like you're right there on Arrakis, experiencing everything.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see where Villeneuve takes the story next.
Me neither. Me neither.
In Dune.
Yeah.
Messiah. And it just leaves you wanting more.
It does.
Looking back on all the films we've talked about so far, I'm just struck by the diversity of genres and storytelling styles represented. I mean, it's clear that 2024 was a really great year for cinema.
It really was.
So what do you think makes a film a truly great film experience?
That's a good question. For me, I think it's about being transported to another world. You know, engaging your emotions and leaving you with something to think about long after it's over.
Yeah.
It's a film that sparks conversations, challenges your perspectives.
And maybe even inspires you to see the world differently.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's really about the power of storytelling and the way a film can connect with you on a personal level.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that a great film experience is subjective. What resonates with one person may not resonate with another.
Right.
That's the beauty of art, right?
Yeah.
It's open to interpretation.
And that's why it's so important to just keep exploring and be open to new experiences.
Absolutely. Keep watching.
And keep the love of cinema alive.
Exactly.
I love it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to talk about even more
Awesome.
amazing films from 2024. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the best films of 2024.
I'm so glad to be back.
Me too. It's been a blast talking about all these great films so far.
It really has.
You know, it's remarkable how all these films we've discussed, even though they're so different in terms of genre and style, they all really tap into the human experience in some really profound ways. Yeah, it's true. I think back on the films we've already talked about, and I'm struck by how they reflect the full spectrum of emotions that we all experience in life, you know, joy and sorrow and hope and despair.
It's like 2024's cinema was holding up a mirror to our collective experience, and I think that's what makes this list so fascinating.
Yeah, and what's so exciting is that there really is something for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're looking for escapist fantasy or thought-provoking drama or a heartwarming animated adventure.
There's something for everybody on this list.
So, I actually wanted to circle back to The Wild Robot for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Because this film really stood out to me.
Yeah, me too.
For its ability to blend stunning visuals with a really deeply moving story.
And it works on so many levels. You know, kids can enjoy it, adults can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it also has that depth that really makes you think.
Right. It makes you think about our relationship with technology.
Yeah.
And the importance of empathy and connection.
Especially connection, I think.
Yeah.
In today's world, that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now I want to shift gears to The Substance, which tackles those complex and timely issues surrounding beauty and youth in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's not afraid to show the dark side of fame.
No, it's not. And Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley just give these amazing performances.
Oh, they're so good.
And what I think is so impactful about this film is that it doesn't try to give us easy answers.
Right. It just presents the issues in a raw and honest way and lets the audience decide.
Yeah, and it really forces us to confront our own biases and the messages that we've internalized.
Yeah. It's definitely a conversation starter.
Okay. So let's talk about Anora.
Oh, I love Anora. It's such a breath of fresh air in the rom-com genre.
Yeah, it really is. It's quirky and unconventional. And I love how it just embraces the chaos of life.
Yeah, and celebrates those unexpected connections.
Yeah, and Mikey Madison is just radiant in the lead role.
Oh, she's fantastic. She brings such a warmth and humor to the character.
Yeah, and it's so refreshing to see a romantic comedy that doesn't follow the typical formula.
Exactly.
It feels real. It feels relatable.
It feels hopeful, too.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Dune, Part 2.
Yes. Let's talk about Dune. This film was a masterpiece.
It really was. Denis Villeneuve did it again.
I know. He's just such a visionary director.
Yeah. I was completely blown away by this film.
I was, too. Everything about it is just incredible.
Oh, yeah. The world building, the action sequences, the performances, everything.
Especially Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's just such a captivating actor.
Yeah. And you really feel like you're right there on Arrakis with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Experiencing the vastness of the desert and the intensity of the political intrigue.
It's just epic.
Yeah. And the ending just leaves you wanting more.
It does. I can't wait for Dune, Messiah.
Me neither. Looking back on all these films we've talked about, it's really amazing to see the diversity of storytelling and genres represented.
And talent. Yeah. So much talent, both in front of and behind the camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, 2024 was a fantastic year for cinema.
It really was. There were so many great films.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think makes a film a truly great film experience?
That's a big question. Well, I think for me, a great film experience is one that stays with you long after the credits have rolled. You know, it's a film that makes you think and feel and maybe even see the world a little differently.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. It's about the power of film.
Yeah.
To really connect with us on a personal level.
And to stay with us.
Yeah.
You know, to make us think about things in a new way.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. We've talked about some really amazing films.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to keep exploring the world of cinema in 2025.
Me too. I can't wait to see what new stories and experiences filmmakers will bring us in the new year.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the Screeniverse of 2024.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that this list is kind of like a time capsule.
Ooh, interesting. How so?
Well, it's not just about the best films.
Yeah.
You know, it's about what we were all feeling and talking about.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
In 2024.
Yeah.
Like, we had films about escapism, social commentary, the power of art, the complexities of ambition.
It really reflects the year's cultural landscape, doesn't it?
It does.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. And as we head into 2025, I can't help but wonder what new trends will emerge.
Good question.
Like, will we see more films like Anora?
Oh, yeah.
You know, those raw and imperfect love stories? Or will we see more films that kind of follow in the footsteps of Dune?
Yeah.
You know, with that epic scale and spectacle.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think the beauty of cinema is that it's always evolving. You know, always reflecting the times we live in.
Yeah, and we as viewers get to be part of that.
Exactly. We get to experience these stories, engage with the ideas, and contribute to the conversation.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm curious what our listeners thought about this list.
Me too.
Did any of these films particularly resonate with you?
Yeah. Did any of them spark conversations with your friends and family?
And if you haven't had a chance to see any of these films yet,
yeah,
definitely check them out.
You might discover a new favorite.
You never know. Well, this deep dive into the Screeniverse of 2024 has been so much fun.
It really has. Thank you for guiding us through it.
Of course. Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure. And to all of our listeners out there.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Screeniverse online podcast.
We'll be back soon with more deep dives into the world of film.
Until then, happy watching, everyone.
Happy watching.